gonna make this video without my glasses, but the sun came out. Let's get it. This is my adjustable slingshot stick. This is how I turn you into an athlete and solve beginner problems right away. I don't believe in quick fixes, but if I have one, this is it. Now there's a lot to unpack about this stick, a lot of variables. I'm just gonna put it at a random angle just for the simplicity of this video. Here's the first thing you have to know to be athletic in this movement. So my right foot's pointed that way. It could be pointed that way or that way. This foot really doesn't matter. What matters is this foot. So for my X step, I cross to here, and when I get here, this knee is bent, and I'm on the ball of this foot balancing. Not on my heel, knee is not straight. You have to be in an athletic position on this leg. That's the first thing you have to do. Now here are the 3 things that can come from that at this point. Number 1, I call it the hip opening. Right foot's here, I get on this foot, knee is bent, ball of the foot, and I take this foot and I open this way. Opens my hips in relation to my target. My target's the cone. This is not an athletic position. You're gonna struggle forever trying to do this. That was a really extreme example. Here's a more subtle example. Get on the knee here, opening to there. The next option you have is what I call the forced coil. Foot's pointed that way, X step. Now I forcibly turn this leg in like this. This puts me in a position where I now have to stomp the heel down and force an opening with the foot. That is not athletic. In my style of coaching, the slingshot, those are the 2 options you have to avoid. Once again, the hip opening, the forced coil with the leg. The third option is how you become athletic in the movement. So my right foot's pointed that way for this drill. Left foot down, knee bent, and I just go to here. One more time, right foot, knee bent, I just go to here. Doing that is actually much easier than turning your leg back or opening your leg. Those are actually harder positions to get into. So now that I'm right here, I'm not turning in, I'm not turning out. That means I'm actually just facing that way as if I'm guarding a defender right here. I can go that way, I can go that way. I can be quick, explosive, I'm on the balls of my feet, my knees are bent, and I can throw a disc. So what does doing this fix? The first thing is it fixes turning around too soon. This is very common right here. You're no longer gonna do that because psychologically, when the target's that way and you're going sideways like this, we know we have to get to here to hit this line. If you simply turn your body a little bit away from the target to begin with, now we don't feel the need to go here because we're not throwing over there. Psychologically, we know this is our line, so we're gonna extend out now. And that's how you create space. I have space for the disc to work. I have space for an athletic rotation. Ultimately, that solves rounding. The next thing that this helps with in terms of being athletic is you're not gonna be coiling with your shoulders anymore, which is not athletic. You're gonna be coiling with your flexible area, your core here. When you do it this way, this is a shoulder coil. I can go anywhere I want. There's no flexibility repercussion here. When I'm in this position, my feet are pointed that way. My head's probably right here. Depending on the distance, it all changes with different distances. And if I leave the feet and I leave the head and I start coiling with my core, now it takes flexibility. And the further I go, notice how my knee bends in naturally. I don't have to force that at all. The last thing I want to talk about is developing a natural athletic brace. If you go like this, you're coming into it like a sports move and it's totally natural. You come into it on the ball of the foot, your rotation will drop the heel naturally. Your rotation will naturally open it as well. You don't want to have to force a turn. All of that should be done naturally. So just going like this right here, it just gets you out of your own way.
All right, this is my student Jacob right here. Jacob had only been playing for a couple weeks when he started, and this is pretty much how most people look when they first start, right? So it's a good example of coiling with the shoulders, straight back, head straight back, turning that leg behind. Here's another good angle of it. I mean, Jake's 2 weeks into disc golf at this point. This is just a common position. Leg turned around. Now he's going to have to stomp his heel down. So we fixed his body positioning, and we're putting him through the standstill series, which is what I always start my players out with. And right now, we're just having Jacob throw 50-foot shots right here, and we're keeping a really good eye on how this new rotation, which is going to be much more athletic, we want to make sure he gets it down, but he doesn't hurt himself. So it's very much a progression that we're both keeping an eye on. So in our last meeting, now we're addressing this, because on a short upshot, 50, 100, 150 feet, we need to be extending out. As a coach, I get very invested. So working with Jacob has been awesome because he's just really patient. He takes his time. He's not rushing through things. And I think that's a really great way to stay loose and to go about backhand form. You got to be patient. This is a year, 2 years. It's a long process to work on your backhand.